In this video tutorial, we're going to look at the Japanese word for library and how you write it in kanji. Okay, in Japanese, library is toshokan. Let's have a look at this one, to, first. This character means a map or a diagram, and it originally looked like this. Okay, you can see it had a border around the outside, and the middle was fairly complicated. But I think if you look at that, it does look very much like a map of a series of roads and buildings. Now, to write the modern or simplified version, first of all, we draw the outside, the boundary of the map. And we start here on the left-hand side. We go straight down there. Then we go across for the top and down on the right-hand side without taking our pen off the paper. Now, before we close our map off, we're going to draw the inside of the map. And we're going to pretend, for just argument's sake, that this is a treasure map and there are two treasures. Now, we're going to use the katakana tsu to be very similar to the English word two. And you can see here, I hope, 1, 2, 3 strokes. That's almost identical to katakana tsu. Now in this map we've got tsu treasures and they're both marked by X. Let's have a look at that one more time. Okay, the outside of the map down on the left, across, down on the right, all in one. Then we've got tsu treasures and they're marked with a cross. So there we have tsu and there's our cross. And finally, we're going to close our border off like that. And that gives us the first part of library or toshokan. Toshokan. Now, the second character you should be very familiar with. That's the character which means to write. And on the top, we've got what originates from a picture of a hand holding a calligraphy or a bamboo brush. So here we're going to draw the fingers on the hand. So we go across and down for one, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, and there's the brush. So that's our hand holding a brush. And then underneath we've got what looks very much to me like a piece of lined paper. Down on the left, across and down on the right, there's the line going across the middle, and we finish our lined paper off. And that's the character for to write, and that's pronounced sho in the word for library, toshokan. Finally, we have the character which is pronounced kang, and it means a public building. Now, there are two elements in kang. The element on the left-hand side here, again, you should be very familiar with because it's the character meaning to eat. Only because it's squished up and it's part of another character, it doesn't have that final element there, which you find in the full character to eat. Now on the right-hand side, you've got this element here, which is a public official. And you can see on the top, that's this part here, you've got a roof. And then here, you've got an element which I like to think of is a big, fat public official sitting down doing his work. This is the right-hand element of our final character, kang, and this is the bit where you can see the roof and the walls on either side, and then underneath you can see inside that element which, as I say, looks like someone sitting down with two big tummies as he works away in the public building. Okay, let's look at how we're going to write our kang character. We're going to begin with the left-hand element, and we're going to start by drawing the roof on top of our element meaning to eat. So down on the left, down on the right, then we have our first stroke here, we have our katakana yo element, and then down we come with splish, splash is missing, and splosh. That's our left-hand element to mean eat. On the right-hand side, we've got the roof on top, and we've got our fat cat bureaucrat underneath. So that's his back down there for 1. That's his first big belly all the way round and down for 2. Left to right to close that off for 3. Second big belly, down all the way, and left to right to close it off. And there's a fat cat bureaucrat under a roof, eating away, enjoying the good old life in the public building. And that's the third part of toshokan, library. Now we're going to put it all together, starting with our map here, top on the left, cross and round. Tsu crosses marks the spot. There's our cross, and close our map off. Next we have the kanji for right. There are our fingers. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. There's our bamboo brush and our lined paper underneath. That's the shok, which means to write. And finally we have kang, which is our public building. There's our roof. There's the rest of the character, or the element I should say, which means to eat. And here on the right hand side, the roof and our very fat cat bureaucrat sitting under there, enjoying himself. And there we have top, shop, kang, or library.